Hey guys, it's Becky. For this week, for Thrifty Thursday, Leslie and I are doing dies, eyelets, and colored cardstock. And I think Sharon Allen said 2 of those, and Caitlin Clary said 1 of those things. But let me show you. I'm going to use this die. Now, I already did cut out some of the flowers because I knew they would be hard because they have all these little holes in them. And I knew it would take me for forever to piece these together. So I have the top part, which is this printed one, and then I just traced my die and backed it with yellow, and then I cut out the leaves again in green. I did pick a paper. This was the paper I was going off to do these dies. Now I might pull out more dies to finish this, but I'm not sure. Then I have this little thing of eyelets. This is one of the first tools I ever purchased. I use it a lot for the hole punch, but I think I might have used eyelets twice, maybe. So I got this the same time I got that, and you can see it's still really full. I don't know how I'm going to use them, but I'll probably end up using the white or the black. This gold is really awful. I don't like that gold. So I'll probably end up using white or black. And then for the colored cardstock, I am going to be using a sketch, which when we start going, I'll put it up in the corner. But, hold on. Excuse me. My cold's almost gone, thank goodness. So for the cardstock, I pulled out this yellow, which I like, but I think it might be a little too bright. I haven't decided. But when I was flipping through this book, I was actually flipping through it for this light pink. But then I saw this one, and I love this one. I like that color, how it pops. It kind of ties into these reddish corally flowers, and then this piece of paper that I use for the overlay has those same dots on it. I used this one. It's a Maggie Holmes paper. So I'm going to be using these papers, and I think I'm going to use this color cardstock. So let's go see what we can do. Guys, in case I forget when I'm doing the voiceover, make sure you go check out Leslie's channel. I'm going to have her linked down below. I usually don't forget to mention, but I know sometimes with Mini Kit Monday I do for some reason. So make sure you go check her out, and I will link her down below, and we'll see what she comes up with. I'll be right back. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start out with the cardstock. As you can see here, I did change my mind and decide to go with the yellow. I am also going to use the other one as well as kind of accent pieces. This paper right here, the one with the dots, is the one that I used to make those flower die cuts with. I'm also going to use a strip of this. Now in that flower paper, there's kind of this aqua color, so I do go and pull out some aqua and go ahead and punch that into a border shape. This right here is going to be my little accent color. It's very bright and vibrant. I'm going to make that into a banner to stick under the photo. Now you can see how this layout is. I stick really closely to it to include the scallop, that extra piece of paper, and also the banner shape. I love sketches, especially like if you don't have any ideas really of what you might or where you might want to go with a certain layout. A sketch is just awesome. I love it. It like takes all the brain power out of it. It is the best. So the next thing we are going to use, so we had colored cardstock, and then we had dies, and then we have eyelets. Now you can see right here, I went ahead, or I started with 4 photos. I'm going to trim them down, and I'm actually only going to end up using 2. I like the one where she has the 5 months on her head, and I might use that in a different layout because there's another photo I have I want to scrapbook too. It's her parents doing silly things to her. This right here is an example of a silly thing, putting that 5 months right on the on her forehead. I think that would be a pretty fun layout. So see, I was going to use the third one and kind of drop it down. You can see in this sketch there's the 2 4x6 ishes, and one is dropped down a little bit further than the other. So I was going to take my 2 3x4s and butt them up together and then drop that third photo down. I end up just going and getting rid of that altogether and just have the 2 3x4s right next to each other. I do think I popped one of them up on some foam tape though. Right here, I'm backing my photos with white. Now, I got away from backing my photos there for a few months, and now I'm back into backing my photos. It's one of those things that just kind of comes and goes. I'm going to go ahead and commit to where the scallop is. And I don't think I glued down that polka dotted paper too much. Look how vibrant that yellow is. I don't know. Even now, looking at the layout in front of me, it's like, wow. But I mean, it's there, it's done. I like the layout enough that I'm not even questioning ripping it apart. Like the last Thrifty Thursday we did, the layout was like, oh, I don't know. And I actually was thinking about, redoing it or doing something to it. This one is not that offensive to me, but that yellow up at the top, it's like, ooh, I should have maybe made it white and just use the yellow as more accents around the page using the dies, because the dies was one of the tools we were using. But I'm going to leave it how it is. I like it enough. So I am going to pull out those flowers. Now, what you're going to see me do is over on the right-hand side, I'm going to kind of build a cluster. I'm going to have one of the flowers up there at the top and one down at the bottom, but at the right-hand side of the photos, I'm going to have a different kind of cluster. I keep it that way, but I am going to go back and change it, and you'll see those in the still shots at the end, because I'm like, ugh, I didn't like the cluster that much that I made, so I do pull most of the things off and put one of those die cuts back down on there. So here I am using my eyelets. I did make 2 tags, one that's going to go at the bottom and one that's going to go at the top. They both have eyelets in them. Now, like I said, that big bite is one of the first tools I bought, and I did have only used the eyelet setter a couple times. And even now when I used it, it like smashed half of the eyelet, and the other one was not. The other half of the eyelet was like straight sticking down, sharp edges and stuff. I ended up having to take out my Tim Holtz scissors, those little red ones that cut through anything, and snip off the back of the eyelet on the side that didn't smush down. I don't know why it does that. Maybe it's never worked. I'm not really for sure. I will use the eyelets again here coming up. You guys tell me, when is the last time you have used eyelets, and how did you use them? Did you just use them in the basic way like I did on a tag, or did you do something fancy and fun? I'm really curious to know this, because when I was doing this layout, I was like, I don't know. I am going to pull out another die. You can see those flowers over there on the right hand side. Now the bigger flowers, I put eyelets in. I did try to put them in the middle-sized flowers as well. You can see it right there. I did try to put some in the middle-sized flowers as well, but the eyelets look like they kind of swamped the flower too much, so I didn't end up going with those. I do go with the bigger ones with the eyelets in the center. I actually do use some of the smaller ones as well, only they don't have eyelets in them. Just the big ones have eyelets in them. So I think I got like 4 or 5 eyelets on this page by way of the tags, and then also those flowers. So here I'm just going to go ahead and commit to my little cluster areas. Now I did take that flower die that had those flowers. It also had some leaves in it. That was an Echo Park die. And I did cut out some extra leaves in that same green that I used on the large flowers. And then also I put this tag up there at the top left. It is green. That is from Felicity Jane. I did have a little baggie of Felicity Jane stuff sitting on my desk, so I pulled out a couple of chipboard hearts from that, and also that green tag. Here's where I'm building this cluster over to the side. Man, that's not even a cute cluster. And after I turn the camera on or off, like I said, I am going to pull those up and put down another one of those big flowers. Here's one of those chipboard hearts from Felicity Jane. They match really well with this paper. Now the green, that green heart, it's more of a Kelly green, whereas the other greens are not really as bright. Even that green tag at up at the top, it came with the same collection as that green heart, but those greens are like way different to me. I don't know. So Right here, I'm going to go ahead and tuck in a few more flowers. I initially wanted, well actually, and that's what I am calling this layout, is 5 months. And you can see it clearly on her bib. It says 5 months. But up at the top, I end up just spelling out 5. I use Felicity Jane letters to do that. And the reason I didn't put months is because I didn't like that I didn't have enough room for it. And I didn't want it to look really weird. So I just called it 5. Alright, so after I do that, I am going to pull out some of this crochet thread, and I just tie little loops in the all the tags. They're not loop-de-loos. I just kind of stick them through the tag and then tie a knot at the end and snip them off. I do that with all 3 of them. I don't really make any kind of statement with the crochet thread at all. It's just kind of hanging there. I maybe should have made it look a lot cuter, or a little bit cuter, but I didn't. In the end, I do like this layout. It's not going to be one of my favorites, but I really do like it. It's cute. And this is Riley's 5-month photos. All right, guys, stay tuned for the end picture so you can see how that right-hand cluster turned out. I want to thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to go over to Leslie's channel. I will have her linked down below and show her some love. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.